Hello and welcome to the Dr. Kyra Show. This is a special series on how to lead and mostly stay sane during the coronavirus pandemic. And today we're going to talk about how to get productivity to come out of yourself. You know, productivity is tanking all over the place. There's a concept called presenteeism in psychology where you're there but you're not really there. You know, it's when somebody says, "Hey, did you hear what I said?" And you're like, yeah, and you repeat it, but you weren't really taking it in. That is at an all-time high right now, and it's because we have different kinds of distractions that our brains are contending with. So before the pandemic, we also had the smartphone epidemic where we're all on our phones and we're doing things and it's really hard to focus. So if you're older than 20, you realize that there was a world before the smartphone and that you actually had an attention span. And now you realize that not only is that gone, but with the pandemic and the upheaval of coronavirus and COVID, that there is really a whole new level that we've reached. So how to stay productive as a leader, how to stay productive as a person who's trying to support other people, to support your family maybe, and those kinds of things. The distractions are absolutely in every domain right now. It is in social areas, it is in personal psychological, mental health areas, it is in stress areas, it is in financial areas, it is in the economic areas and political areas and interpersonal relationships. Really, we have not experienced such disruption on every single domain of life and daily life as we are right now. So first of all, give yourself a break. You deserve to be distracted, or it's legitimate that you're distracted, let's say. But there are some things that you can do to work with your brain and what it's willing to do in these days that I want to offer. So 3 tips for how to stay productive and how to get yourself to be productive during this difficult time. Number 1, you want to basically train your refocus. So right now I want you to lower your bar of expectations that you're gonna at all be distracted, because you will. You probably already have during even watching this little, tiny video. So instead of that, don't be hard on yourself. Just train your refocus as if it's a muscle. So you're kind of doing reps the whole time and you're refocusing. The way you want to do this is to pick something somewhat physical or sensational so that you can stay focused on it for a minute. And every time within that minute that you lose focus or you have a thought, you simply redirect your attention. So some people like to use a candle, some people like to use their breath, some people like to use the tip of their nose. And so whatever works for you, what you're simply going to do is focus on the tip of your nose or the breath coming in out of your nose as a sensory focus. And then once you kind of focus on that and you drift off, you're basically going to just go, oh yeah, I was supposed to be focusing on my nose. And then you refocus. And the more you refocus, the stronger your ability to control your attention and your focus gets. And you spend less and less time in la-la land. Second tip is shrink your to-do list. So instead of the long to-do list, my husband has a to-do list that's probably 15 pages long. But these days we can't handle that. And in fact, it kind of sits there as a monkey on our back. So the best thing to do is to lower your expectations and to say, okay, I'm going to do 3 important things a day, and that's it. And by even promising yourself that, and these could be 3 tiny things. It can be on some days when it's really bad, brushing your teeth might be one of those things, right? So you can pick those 3, and just by doing 3 things, you will pedal forward. Don't worry about it. And the great thing about it is that your brain, because it feels so relaxed and feels so positive, feels good about the accomplishment and not being hard on itself, you will find that you'll look for little bonus things to add to that 3. All right, so don't expect it, but it'll be a bonus surprise for you. The third tip is we are all inundated with news cycles and notifications on our phones around the news. It is like barraging your brain with a million pepper spray of emotional triggers all at once. So the way you need to protect yourself, if you haven't already, is to reduce those pings, those stimuli. So you're going to go to your settings in your phone and you're going to turn off notifications for every one of those little noisy apps, those feeds, whether it's Facebook, whether it's a news channel, whatever that is pinging you. Because as much as you kind of get a pleasurable dopamine hit from it, it is literally horrible for your distraction and for your productivity. So unless you take those off, you don't have a chance. There's no way that you're going to stand up to that level of distraction. The second thing you can do is delete the app off your phone that is pinging you. And for a news app, that means you're going to have to go to your browser on your phone, and that is enough friction that you want to put in there to make it not very pleasurable to indulge in that and get lost in that, because the browser is always going to be a little bit less pleasurable than the app was optimized to be. I hope this helps you. I hope you realize that you can be productive. I hope you realize that you are an awesome person even if you're not productive, and that you'll get through this, that you can do this, and we'll do it together. So I'll see you next time.